Hey there, welcome back to my kitchen. I'm so happy you're here with me, and tonight I'm gonna show you how to cook a steak like a high-end steakhouse. I see online a lot of people asking the same question. Why the steak that I make at home does not taste as good as the steak that I get at the steakhouse? And since I worked in a steakhouse, tonight I'm gonna show you all the tricks that cooks use in a steakhouse to make a phenomenal steak. And after watching this video, you will be able to make a perfect steak at home. All right, so what I have here is a ribeye steak and a spiny lobster. So since we're gonna be cooking steak like a steakhouse, we're gonna make a little bit of a surf and turf, a steak and piggybacked lobster tail. So I'm gonna show you how to do all this. But first, let's heat up the equipment. First of all, what I want to do is preheat my oven to 350 degrees, and then this is my pan where I'm gonna make the steak. As you can see, all my pans are with stainless steel handle because I want to be able to put them in the oven. Okay, so I'm going to turn the burner on to medium heat, and I'm gonna allow it to heat for 5 minutes while I'm getting the steak ready. So the reason why steak at a high-end steakhouse tastes different than the one that you make at home is because of the stages of preparation. Most people at home probably take the steak out of the fridge, season it, and throw it on the grill or in the pan, and they just cook it from beginning to end. The truth is that in a steakhouse, the steak goes through various resting stages. And today I'm going to show you how to do 3 resting stages. Stage number 1, we're resting the steak at room temperature. Stage number 2, we're resting the steak after we make the sear. And then stage number 3 is we're resting the steak before we serve it. It's been a long day at work, so I believe I deserve a little treat. Cheers. Now we can begin. All right, seasoning the steak. What I like to season the steak with is salt, pepper, and herbes du Provence. But if you don't like herbes du Provence, you can simply just use salt and pepper. But before I apply the seasoning, I like to massage the meat with some olive oil. Herbes du Provence is usually very coarse, so I like to grind it down a little bit in this thingy. After that, we repeat the same seasoning on the other side. After the meat has been seasoned, it's good to leave it at room temperature half an hour to an hour before cooking. And this is our first resting stage. All right. Half an hour has passed. My cooking pan is nice and hot, and my steak is ready to go in. I don't know if you noticed, but there is nothing inside the pan. I don't put any oil. I'm just gonna put that steak on. All right, you saw all that smoke. I hope it doesn't activate my fire alarm, but my pan was very, very hot. So I'm just gonna let the steak sear for another couple of minutes, and then I'm going to flip it. As you can see, I already flipped the steak and we have nice charring on one side. I'm just gonna sear the other side for about 3-4 minutes, and then I'm gonna put the steak on the resting rack. All right, so I'm gonna let the steak rest until I'm preparing the lobster. All right, the spiny lobster. Right now in Florida, it's the season for spiny lobster, and I can't wait to have it. So this is a spiny lobster. If you've never seen one, this is what it looks like. And on the spiny lobster, we only eat the tail. The body, we throw in the trash. So the way you separate the tail from the lobster, we need to make incision under the body, like this. And now, when we made this incision, we just pull the tail. And the body is being discarded. All right, so this is the tail. Next, we have to split the tail with scissors like this. And then here we're gonna make a Y cut because we're piggybacking the tail. And this happens like this. And these two pieces, we're just simply gonna remove them like this. And then we flip the tail, and there's these pieces of shell that are very hard. So we have to break them in order to open the shell. And this happens by pressing, and they break. And from here on, we're gonna make an incision like this and split the meat. And that is the vein. We're gonna remove that. Okay, so the meat is attached to the bottom of the tail, so we gently need to push our fingers underneath here so we can separate the meat. And you see what happens here? So now we're gonna close the shell and we're gonna lay the meat on top. And this is what piggybacking of a lobster tail actually is. I like to season the tail with a little bit of salt and pepper. After that, I'm just gonna put a piece of butter on it. Okay. All right. So we put the tail in the pan, and on the bottom of the pan, we can pour a little bit of water or white wine. I'm just going to pour some water. And this is what it looks like, our piggyback tail. And now I'm just gonna put it in the oven. So I'll let the tail cook, and when it's almost done, we're gonna start working on the steak again. All right, so it's been about 10 minutes, and let's see what that lobster tail looks like. All right, as you can see, the lobster tail is almost cooked, but I can tell right now it's still on the medium rare side. If you see this gray right here, that's how translucent the lobster is when it's undercooked, and when it's fully cooked, it starts to turn white. So we're gonna give it another five minutes in the oven. Meanwhile, this is our steak that's been resting while the tail is cooking in the oven. All right, let's start working on that steak. I'm gonna show you a little toy. This is the key to a perfectly cooked steak at home. We need to measure internal temperature so we know where we're standing. I like my steak medium, so according to this thermometer, it says that medium is at 145 degrees. So that means that we have to pull the steak out of the oven probably at somewhere between 135 and 140, because during the final resting stage, the steak is gonna go up in temperature another 5 degrees. And let's see the reading. So this is how this works. You have to insert it in the thickest part of the steak. And currently, let me show you. Currently, we are reading 98 degrees, which should be a perfect rare. So steak is ready to go in the oven. Now, before I put the steak in the oven, I'm going to switch from bake to broil. So my broiler has two settings, high and low. So I'm gonna start at high. And as you can see, the lobster tail is in there and it's almost done. And I'm going to put the steak in the oven. All right, so I'm gonna show you a little bit of a magic trick here. It's very important for making an unbelievable steak. Okay, so steak goes in the pan. All right. And here, what I have here is beef tallow, which is melted beef fat in clarified butter, and I have some regular butter. So we're gonna put this on the steak, the beef fat, the clarified butter, and some of this regular butter. So we're going to put this on the steak. 1, 2, 3, and this goes under the broiler. All right. Let's check out that lobster tail. Again, we're going to use our little friend here. So the well done for seafood is 145 degrees. So let's see what we're reading here. So the lobster, I don't know if you can see this. Let me move the camera. So this is a lobster tail and it's reading 137 degrees. So we're very close on this one. So I'm just gonna let it rest here on top of the oven for a little bit because it's going to go up in temperature. I'm just gonna put it right here where it's nice and hot, where these vents are blowing hot air from the oven inside. All right, let me show you what's happening next. So as you can see, this burner is going, okay? And let's check out the steak. You see how that steak is sizzling? So we're gonna put the steak on the burner and I'm gonna show you what's happening next. All right. So now we're going to baste the steak. That's why we put the butter, the clarified butter, and the beef tallow. So this happens by you move the steak at the far end of the pan and you start basting it with the fat, like this. I'm just gonna put it in the oven for just a minute and we're gonna measure internal temperature. You see all that goodness happening? You see all this right now is the difference between the steak that you get in a steakhouse versus the one that you make at home. All right, so the steak has been in the oven for just a minute. As you can see, my burner is hot and ready if I need to do some more basting. All right, so I'm just gonna pull it here. Oh man, that's gonna be the best steak you've ever had. Better than Ruth Chris, better than any steakhouse. I'm just gonna put it on the resting rack right here and let it chew for a bit. And let's measure internal temperature, see where we're standing. Okay. All right. It's reading 119 degrees. So we're pretty close to medium rare. I'm just gonna let it rest here a little bit and I'm gonna put it back in the oven. I'm just gonna give it another minute. Um, although the thermometer is reading a lower temperature that I'm looking for, I can feel the steak by pressing on it that it's very close to where I like it to be. And I'm just gonna give it one more minute and I'm gonna put it back on the burner for a little basting. All right. Steak is almost ready. I just need another minute basting and I'm gonna put it on the resting rack and it's done. All right, the steak is done. Just gonna grab it and put it right here to rest. And let's see where we're standing with that lobster tail. So my lobster tail is showing 132 degrees. I'm just gonna put it in the oven a little bit while I'm setting up the table. All right, everything is ready to be plated. The lobster tail looks nice and ready. The steak has rested for 5 minutes. I'm just gonna add some clarified butter for the tail and this little thingy here. Oh, yes. All right. I'm just going to pop my plates in the oven for just a minute. Careful with the plates because they are very hot. Okay. All right. All right, plates are nice and hot, ready to plate. When you're plating a steak, it's a good idea to have some kind of finishing salt. I like Maldon. You simply sprinkle around the steak. All right. Let's see how we did. First, cheers. Thank you for watching. All right, let's try that steak. It's a medium going towards medium well. So we didn't overcook it too much. Let's see. It's absolutely amazing. The flavor is very deep and robust, and the fat is melting in your mouth. Unbelievable. Wow, amazing. Fresh Florida lobster. Let's see. Let's see how it goes with the clarified butter. Oh my God. Oh my God, the lobster is absolutely outstanding. Out of this world outstanding. Let's try steak and lobster together. This is really amazing. Oh my God. This is good. I don't know if you can see how nice and pink it is. The spiny lobster is so much different as compared to a cold water lobster. The flavor is very interesting. Mm. Oh my God, unbelievable. Wow, wow. I grabbed some more salt, and what I have here is wasabi. Steak is actually really good with wasabi. I don't know if you know that. Oh man, life is good. Life is good. Look at this. Oh my God. The lobster is an absolute hit. I get, I can get steak every day, but Lobster season in Florida is very short. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is out of this world. Cheers, guys. Lobster tail is an absolute hit. Mm. Oh my God. Wow. This is crazy. I want that lobster. Ooh, a bee's hiding. Yes. Mm-mm-mm. Wow. Wow. This is insane amount of food. Guys, thank you very much for watching. This was absolutely amazing. If you have any questions regarding my recipes, please ask me in the comments. I promise you that I will answer. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel because I have so many great things coming. I'm thinking in the next couple of weeks I want to show you how to make a stuffed Maine lobster with crab imperial, lobster macaroni and cheese. I have a couple of other Mexican recipes going, and also in September I'm going to Bulgaria, so I'm going to show you some traditional Bulgarian cuisine. Thank you very much one more time, and I wish you a wonderful evening. Bye bye.